Chernobyl blow off 1 year later, and this was 20 years ago. We had a great time after this, but she is not that healthy that she can travel here. It's too dangerous, and so I decided to take over one of my assistants. This is my practice. This is my house. Here I play with my dogs. This is the guest house where people come for dog sport training. They stay here and we can train. This I bought. This was a bank. And now, as Bernd and Anton are in my practice, we extend the practice in this way to get more room. So, and in my practice, I enjoy with my lovely girls. Lena was with me in Ursula in South Africa last year, and these two are my special workers on the chair. And Anna was with me in Brazil last year, and I brought you Jessica. Stand up. Yeah. To Florida, and well, she leaves my practice now, and with Andrea I've been last month in Rioja, where you get a very nice, good wine in Spain. So, and in Russia. We have been together in Russia with Andrea. She's the oldest one. She's 20 years in my practice. She's the daughter of my neighbor. And it's boring to travel alone, so I said I like to have someone. And when we see Gatorland yesterday alone, it took me 1 hour to see this. So we stood there the whole day and enjoyed. Okay, my two partners, Anton is the youngest, and Bernd is the older. He's a oral surgeon. Then we have much fun in our practice. We go to Bon Jovi of Schalke, and we go to Bruce Springsteen in Cologne. And of course I have dogs. Everybody in America knows Finch. We won the Masters, and they were very, very good dogs. Even the world champion of WSB competed there, and Pedro Luis did some mistakes, and I told him, you did this and this and this wrong, and half a year later he became the world champion in WSB because he treated his dog different. And this was extreme, hot. And there was no possibility to win with a dog which has only fun. And this is a big error in the presence, that people say dog sport is fun. If German soccer players come from Brazil, they have broken nose, they have torn off muscles, and they look terrible, but they win the world championship. And this they did not with fun. They did it with a limit. Sport is always a limit. And if you want to do dog sport, you will never reach the limit without fun. But fun alone is not enough. And this is a big lie in dog training. And people go around the world and tell you for 2,000 euros a weekend to clicker, to have fun, to make your dog happy, and all this shit. Yeah? And this is why I started last year first time with an obedience seminar. I always did training seminars, I did Schutzdienst seminars, and people come and have success, and my pupils are better than I am now. And but in obedience, there was a big lie. People train 4 years for healing in the box. And then they show the dog 1 or 2 times. And that's it. If it works. If they show it before, they have big mistakes in it. They don't go for hours, they don't do this, they don't jump, something happens. So, this is not the truth in dog sport. And I will tell you the truth, what it is. This is my Kussmax Dame, your mother. And she produced very nice puppies, and I was with her now 4 times on ESP and World Championship of RFV 2000. And here's where we train. This is the Weser River. And besides this, there was an army and they sold it, and afterwards I sold it from a farmer. Here we have 10,000 square meters of grassland, this hall, and this becomes a training center of RC 2000 in the middle of Germany, and many people come there, the water place. So now we are in dog training. At first, we must think about what is the advantage for the dog and what is the advantage for the handler. And the dog has drive and the dog can let his drive. If it's always in the kennel, it can't do. The Puma yesterday there was lying in the box, and this is no life. Yeah? Then we teach the technique to the dog. And this is something, all what we want dog shall do is never the aim what he wants. The exercise of the trial is always hitting him right in the middle of the face. Nothing is satisfying, always frustration. We make the deal. If you do, you get. And this gives him hope. And with this hope, we gamble. But the training process is conflict management and nothing else. The interest of the dog handler, the interest of the dog is not the same. And we have to make it the same by clever training. And if you reach clever training, there is coordination, there is a relationship and understanding. And this is something, when you get older, you will find out. When you're 20, you like to fight. You go against every wall. When you get older, you will realize you don't want to stress yourself so much. Harmony, coordination, understanding become more important when you get 60, if you're 20. And this is the same with the dog. And if you want to train a dog, put it in 3 levels. At first you must have drive, of course. Therefore, we breed. And you better take a dog who makes 300 points from heaven. But you will never find it. So, what you can ask for is drive. And it's very interesting what happened in the last years. In the past, a different character was a good dog. Now, on the top of the world, you have these ADHS children. Yeah? Yeah? And if you see the mummies behind the stadium, yeah, they have always something in the mouth. And if a leaf falls down, something changed. These are the good dogs of nowadays. And I had a very interesting speech 2 years ago, talk 2 years ago. Breeding makes influence to the training, and training makes influence, or judging makes influence to the breeding, because of values. If you change the values, you change the breeding. And I did a research, what changed in the last 50 years? And I just put at the end the question, where do we go? Do we want this hyperactive, nervous dog with high drive? Or do we want the dog with the good aggression, the good nerves, and the stable character? And this is not modern. With this dog, you don't win if you don't know the old style of training. And if, for example, Dirk wins the world champion, the Bundesliga last year, this is because he has a very strong dog with good nerves of the old style, and he understands the old style of training. But he did the mistake that he didn't change the training to the modern techniques. And I will figure it out in the seminar where are the differences. So, another part is, when you got a young puppy, this is the first. But then, it doesn't make 300 points with this shit. Yeah? It makes only technical mistakes. Now you have to put this into this crazy work we asked for, the 300 points. And then, when you have shaped all the exercises, you have to perform. And you have to ask, how can I put all energy into these exercises? And how can I keep this over 10 minutes in 10 exercises? And nobody answers you at this time. And these slides I will show you now, I absolutely knew. And I put it on the flight to Florida in here because this is from my obedience seminar. What is drive? What is drive? What do we handle? There's the first appetence. Do you know what it is? Who knows what is appetence? This is when the stomach is empty and the wolf is looking for the attraction. This is 1 second before you see the attraction. This is the inner motivation. And you can see the appetence by the Unruhe. Restlessness, yes. Of this dog where he wants to do something and looking for the attraction. Then, when the attraction comes, here, then you find the behavior. The dog chains a rabbit, grabs a rabbit, shakes it, kills it, and eats it up. And then he reaches the drive aim. This is what drive is. And if we want to use drive for our behavior, we must understand what we have to do with it. What is the aim for our trial? The aim is, you want the dog, you go to the training field for obedience, for Schutzdienst, and you go there and the dog must make full appetence for next exercise. How can you come to this point? That you don't stand there and, hey, come on, and here and everything. How can you come to the point that you have full appetence for the work? Then you must have a very good signal control with body or with acoustic to say, now the sit, now the retrieve, now the voraus. If the dog goes too early, you lose the points. So this signal control you have to train, to teach. Then, of course, this behavior should be perfect styled, perfect shaped. And these are all criteria of training. And you should do it step by step. Most of the people mix it all together and it works. The dog is so clever. In some way it works and you do every nonsense with the dog and he figures out what you want. Because they are smart. And at the end, you cannot give him food or a ball in the trial. What is the reward? The dog doesn't work when he gets no aim. This is what I said. You train 4 years, the box, barking, biting, food. Then you do 2 trials. And the dog has learned, okay, in this situation, I don't get my aim. This is a shit situation. And what happens in this shit, in this conflict, you will learn. In this conflict happens either, hey, come on, give me hyperactivity, and the technique is gone. The technique is broken. The technical shit. Or you have a dog, this is a Mully. If you have a strong-nerved shepherd, he makes passive aggression. Well, okay, he kills me, he hits me, he pains me. Okay, I can suffer. I can take it. Doesn't care. So, drive is shit. In this situation, either the technique goes wrong by the hyperactivity of the dog because he wants his aim, or the drive goes down because of frustration. And, sorry, what is the aim? The aim is, if you work the exercise, you're in heaven. If you don't work the exercise, you're in hell. And this game, heaven, hell, is the secret of the high performance in dog sport. And I will tell you the rules how to reach this, that it doesn't go wrong by the hell, that the dog doesn't lose the motivation by the hell, that he always hopes. And the trick is always the coordinated work, and he's successful in the conflict management with his handler. And then you can show 10 exercises, and you can show this many trials in over 5-6 years, because if you work with your dog in harmony, it's like you dance with your partner where you are in coordination and in harmony. And this is what a dog likes. But you must come to this point. And this is a longer way. The first is you have to teach the dog his aim. This is why we let the dog carry the arm if he doesn't have this by nature. This is what we look at the Talentsicht dog. We have a young dog, we give a bite, and we see what does he do. When he moves, he carries. When he stands, he still carries, or he drops, or he does not carry. And then you know a lot about the drives. And if you take a dog who has the aim, I always want the prey, then it's easy. You have a better dog. So, here you must make your decision. Which talent do I have? Shall I work with food? Shall I work with prey? You don't have to write it down. You can get all these slides, no problem. Just a stick or an email and you can get these slides. The next is, you have to teach a good signal control to release. This can be the clicker, this can be the body, this can be okay, the voice, or whatever. But he must go to his aim when you say, clicker, now. Okay, not when he wants. So, teaching this is a very important part. Next is, now you have to train the exercises. And this is what you hear in all the seminars, how to do this, how to teach it. And this is, of course, one of the most important parts of the training. How do you teach the retrieve? How do you teach the sit exercise? How do you, and this is what I showed Dirk. So Dirk, you always have your dog in the box and food, and the dog is adapting you, and now you say out of adaptation. And this is impossible for the dog. If you do it this way, you must always have announcement exercise, that the dog have half a second to do it. And then you have to teach the announcement and the signal, and then the dog reads the body language, which is gluing in the box, and which is out of the glue, out of the box. And then the dog can make a sit, like this. But you must teach the signals by body language or by acoustic, whatever, that the dog understands the nose. And of course, here, make a precise work, that the dog works technically perfect. And teach him signal control before drive aim. The next is, when you have taught him one exercise and the next exercise, teach him when to do the next exercise. Then you have series of exercises before you give him the drive aim. And then you come to 10 exercises before you become the drive aim comes. This is step 4. Now is the question, how can I put energy here? That the dog has more speed for the exercise, more drive for the exercise. And there are two things. One is conflict and stress. How can I do this? For example, I speed up the frequency of next exercise, next exercise, next exercise, next exercise. And the dog has to hurry, and he nearly cannot follow. And this makes stress and makes him active. This is one trick, and this is what I can use in the trial. The frequency of the exercises. Then, of course, signal control for driving, and the next is you can put into the exercise the dog wants to do, and you even put some active propulsion in it. And of course, signal control. And so you get the answer. If you want to have maximum appetence for the work, 1 plus 1 is more than 1. So you must have the drive and the active compulsion to make the dog work. And of course, you have to do the control that he doesn't go to his drive aim himself. You must have the signal control for the drive aim. And this is training. And this is a process where you have to respect 3 steps. First, drive. Second, shape the technique. And third, put the exercises together to make maximum energy for the exercise. This is easy to show, but now we come to the points. What does this all mean? And now step by step. But this is an overview. And when you see the way we judge in RSV 2000, we have our own judging system, because the judging system you find all over the world is nonsense. You cannot judge the World Championship like an odds group, because champions don't fall from heaven. And nobody starts with 300 points. Everybody starts with a young puppy, and with Schützen 1, Schützen 2, Schützen 3, and after 3 years you reach a level where you can perform on a high level. And what is the judging system? It's the same for odds group and for World Championship. And every judge goes there and plays God and makes what he wants. Yeah? And every judge has his own judging sheet. Only in RSV 2000, and now copied in DMC with the Manilas, they have a judging sheet for all judges, which is the same. And you know what was always the most important question for me when I went over 20 times for Bundesliga? The most important question in the morning was, what will they judge this year? And so I always said, okay, I will do my performance, and what he judge, I don't care. Yeah? I cannot compare my training system to all the judges in the world, because they all think different. And we try, with our judging sheets, to equalize our judges, and it works very nice. But of course, the eye only sees what the brain thinks. And brain think different. And all our judges think different. And equalizing the brains is hard work. But we work on it. When you see the seminars all over the world, they talk about how to shape the exercises and how to clicker or say okay, or do it with the body. And this is a lot of training, but they don't tell you how you push attempts into the work. And this is the third level of becoming a good handler. You have to do strategy decisions. When to do what. Here you teach how to do, what to do, and then when do you use your possibilities. Okay. This is a short appetizer for you to make it interesting what you will have in this seminar. Now we make a 10 minutes break, and then we start with the question, how do we train? Okay? 10 minutes break.